Hello and welcome to NDTV Profit Conclave. With me is Nadir Godrej, who is the Chairperson of Godrej Industries Group. Mr. Godrej, thank you very much for joining us on NDTV Profit. Sir, the group is spread across a wide number of sectors, and you have a better view of what's happening in the economy as we speak. Let us begin with the consumption question. You are into FMCG and you also look at the rural market through the agrovet business. What is the kind of situation that you see both in the rural side and in the urban space?
Right. Earlier, there was a slowdown on the rural demand side, and now that is picking up. Urban demand was holding up well, but it is slowing down a little bit now. Overall, the demand levels seem to be fairly steady. In Godrej Consumer Products, in certain specific industries like soap and mosquito repellent, we had particular problems where demand was low, not because of economic reasons, but because of certain special reasons for the categories, like mosquito infestation was a little lower, and in soaps, palm oil prices were very high, so that affected us, particularly as our competitors cut the amount of palm oil they use. But we feel that the recovery is in process now.
One of the commentaries that came from many of the FMCG companies was that, okay, you've been able to maintain costs, but now there is a input cost inflation which is, seeping into the P&L, profit and loss of the companies. And now it's imperative that a price hike has to happen so that, you can absorb that input cost which is coming in. How do you see this entire scenario panning out?
Well, the latest inflation numbers showed that inflation for food is certainly slowing down. And in other categories also, there's a good chance that the inflation is slowing down. So, and we are also capable of cutting costs in spite of inflation. So I don't think we will have to take very high price increases.
But there would be one.
There could be one, yes.
Do you see volumes coming back to the levels which we've seen, say, 18 months back?
Definitely, but the growth rates may be slowing down. Earlier, we were used to 10-15% annual growths in volume. Yeah. It's more likely to be in the 5% range now.
And what do you think how it will move from here? Because if you're looking at 5% growth coming in here, and if that is a scenario which is there, when do you see this growth going back to the double digit?
Very unlikely in basic consumer products. Mm-hmm. There's better growth in luxury products. Unfortunately, we still have a little bit of a K-shaped recovery. Yes. It would be good if the whole economy was growing. But the budget gives us hope that more and more people will be able to consume. Especially the middle class has got a lot of benefit from the budget. Taxation will be lower as the thresholds have been increased. So I think there will be more consumption as we go on.
So you mentioned briefly about Godrej Consumer, some segments getting hit because of the industry issue which is there. Is that behind us now?
Yes, that should be behind us now. That's a short-term phenomenon.
And, Godrej Consumer is also known for, innovative and bringing in innovative products within the categories which is there. Is that something which you will be pushing in?
Yes, and some of our new products, like our new detergent, are doing extremely well, and we will be constantly on the lookout for innovation. We think that innovation is the only way to survive in a fast-changing world, and there are many opportunities for newer products which are more efficient, which are more sustainable, and cheaper. Because as you make products more sustainable, they also become cheaper because you use less energy, you do more recycling, you cut the amount of plastic you use. So sustainability is a good way of reducing costs.
You spoke briefly about the fact that we are still seeing a K-shaped recovery, and that we have been seeing for last 4 to 6 quarters, where the premium products are getting consumed, but on the lower end, the base products are not getting consumed because the purchasing power has reduced considerably for that strata of people there. but we have also seen in the last 3 to 4 months, and many companies are commenting on it, that we are seeing sachetization of products, titration which is coming in luxury, smaller packets being consumed in luxury. People are consuming luxury, but in smaller quantities. Are you seeing the same at Godrej?
Well, I don't handle Godrej consumer products on a daily basis, but there's always an opportunity for that. And I have seen quite a few companies looking at this. What we did very successfully in the cheap products can also be done in luxury products for one-time use. And that's often a strategy to get people to use that product. And then when they start liking it, they can buy bigger packs as well.
In the urban markets, where is the issue coming in with respect to consumption? We've seen this slowdown happening since last Jan of 2024. Over a period of time, it has aggravated itself and not it's not resolving itself. Do you see there is a bottom which is going to come in for this urban consumption slowdown which is there?
Definitely, I think so, and I think the budget will be one very important factor. Of course, the stock market has been down for the last few weeks, and it's possible that the global situation with shockwaves coming from Washington, D.C. regularly might be something, it might be the reason for this. But the good news is that the price-earnings ratio of the Indian stock market is very reasonable now, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a revival of the stock market very soon.
For someone who is into the consumer space, we've seen the consumer space take a lot of brunt in terms of valuation. You spoke about the correction that we have seen because, and especially in small and mid cap and in the frontline stocks, which is there. Do you see that there may be a shift to consumption soon as people move or be cautious to invest more into the market? They will start moving money back into banks and consumption.
No, I think people will be spending on consumption because of the budget's impact. People will have more money to spend. And the stock market may be bottoming out, so people who have invested in the stock market and are now scared because prices have fallen might recover their spending once the stock market goes up again.
Sir, with Agrovet, you have a very micro view of the rural market. Where exactly is the revival coming in? And if you can give us, do you see that that growth or the pickup in demand, consumer demand which is coming, is it sustainable going forward?
It's sustainable. The rural market depends a lot on agricultural production. When we had climate crises or bad monsoons, agricultural production falls and demand from rural consumers for goods also falls. But this year the crops are good. We can see that the vegetable prices have fallen. Inflation is down. Yesterday the newspaper said that people were throwing away their cauliflower because they were not getting a good price for it. So that's bad news for the farmers. But the good news is that the crops are good.
Another sector which was in a lot of news was the real estate, Godrej Properties. You look at that as well as part of the group. We were all looking at the kind of pre-sales that's been going on in Godrej and other real estate companies. How do you see the real estate market with respect to the demand which is coming in and the segments where the demand is coming in?
The real estate market is still very good. And of course, it has been quite a long bull run, but we feel that it still has some time to go. And in calendar year 24, on residential, we were the leaders, and we expect that demand will continue at least for some time.
And is there a specific segment within the?
We mostly operate in the mid-market. We are not at the very lower end nor at the very premium end.
But we've seen a lot of demand coming for premium property.
Yes, but also in the mid-market. We do, of course, have some premium projects, particularly in high-priced areas like Mumbai, and we are very active in the Delhi capital region. Unlike most of the property companies, we are present in all regions of India. We are not focusing on any one market.
Sir, in the property market itself, do you see a lot of emphasis has been now been put on pre-sales and not on delivery? Means from an industry point of view.
We are very conscious to try and deliver as fast as we can. But of course, there are a lot of constraints beyond our control. We try to manage them as best as we can. And so far, in most of our projects, we have been successful. But in India, there are always some difficult situation or the other. Lots of permissions are required. Lots of regulations are there. Sudden changes in environmental rules come up. Projects that have been approved suddenly face problems. So these things sometimes happen, but generally we are very good at delivery.
And as an industry and as an industry person, do you see that real estate pricing and that kind of demand that we are seeing, is almost nearing a bubble or something in big cities like Mumbai?
No, I don't think we have reached there yet. Though it's a cyclical business and we cannot expect a bull run to last forever, but we have no signs as of yet that we are running out of steam.
Sir, in industries, you are in the chemicals business. How do you see the chemicals business? And as part of the exports strategy, how do you see that as well?
We have several chemical businesses. We have a lot of challenges with Aztec, which was doing very well for several years, but there's a slowdown in demand for agrochemicals globally. And Aztec's CDMO business has slowed down somewhat. We expect that it will take a little bit of time to recover, but our oleochemicals business is doing very well, and we are expanding into specialty chemicals. We are discussing to expand our fatty alcohol capacity as well, and our new specialty chemicals such as sulforolipid, which is a biological product which we help to develop along with scientists from a government laboratory, is doing well, and we see a very bright future for specialty chemicals and for oleochemicals as well.
What is the kind of exposure that you have to the US market, sir?
Not very much to the US market. We have some. But we also sell to Europe, we sell to China, we sell to Japan. Japan is a very good market for us. We sell in most continents.
And do you see the reciprocal tariff which Trump is talking about? It may have an impact on some of the specialty chemicals business?
If it is the same tax applying to all countries, I don't think it's going to impact us. But if it is specifically for India, it might have an impact. But I don't think any one market is very critical for us.
Sir, in the CDMO business, we have seen some commentaries coming from some of the specialty companies saying that there is a revival in CDMO which is coming in, especially because of the US queries are coming in respect to specialty chemicals there. How do you see that market evolving?
For agrochemicals, we see a little bit of a problem now, but in the long run, I think it's going to be a very good market. And India is very competitive. We have an R&D center that was recently built in Rabale, which is state-of-the-art, and everyone who visits it is very impressed. And we know there's a bit of a slowdown, but there's always been a lot of interest, and people are very pleased with our capabilities.
Sir, Godrej Capital, relatively new in the fold.
Yes.
Give us a sense of the kind of, milestones that you're looking at, and how big is it now as of it's?
I don't have the figures with me offhand, but it's growing rapidly, and it is now already making good profits, and we will continue to invest in it to enable it to grow, and hopefully at some stage it will have an IPO.
And is that stage close by, sir?
I would estimate around 3 years.
And is that a size that you're looking at before you come to the IPO stage?
I think we would probably have AUM of 10,000, 15,000 crores, something like that.
And it's fully funded by the group in that sense.
It's fully funded by the group so far.
Mr. Godrej, it was a pleasure talking to you today.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you.